Hey guys, how are you doing today? It's Kayla here. Just popping in. I just wanted to share with you guys, because I've been talking a bit about it. I am finally able to ride my bike again. I'm super excited. I feel a little bad I'm driving my car. But I live somewhere where there's no public transit and I need to get to another city right now. Today, so I went for my regular 5 kilometer walk, and then I needed to get downtown, so I rode my bike. I thought, okay, I'm going to just ride up and down the driveway and see how it's feeling. It's my first time on it this summer, and it felt so good. I was really excited, so I didn't actually have to put my arm at as extreme of an angle as I expected. So back riding. So I think a combination of walking and riding, because I am definitely not up to the point of climbing hills with my bike yet, but between walking and riding, I probably did about 13 and a half kilometers, maybe 14 kilometers today, which is awesome. I feel so good. And something that I touched on yesterday that I kind of want to elaborate a little bit more on today, that kind of comes along with the cardio. So years ago, I read a book called Spark by Dr. John Ratey, and you can, R-A-T-E-Y, you can actually Google him, and a bunch of his lectures are up. And a lot of his research is on how physical activity can create the same feel-good chemicals as people are trying to replace with medications such as antidepressants, anti-anxiety, all of these medications. So exercise increases those hormones and chemicals in the same way, without the negative side effects of taking antidepressants. Now myself, I guess it would be, oh my gosh, almost 12 years ago now, I was diagnosed with severe depression and I was put on antidepressants. Like, this is just, I mean, it's nice to live in Canada and we have a lot of free things as it comes to healthcare. But I went into my doctor with a headache and walked out with a recommendation to go get my eyes tested and a prescription for antidepressants. I wasn't sent to talk to anyone to figure out what was going on, if it was something that could be dealt with. They just gave me antidepressants, sent me home. I was 19 years old. I didn't know any better. Okay, doctor, but this is what started. I am sweating a lot right now. I just finished my bike ride like 20 minutes ago. Anyway, I feel like a little bit more could have done, even like one appointment by someone who specializes, not a GP, but someone that specializes in the brain and mood and emotion, to see if something else was going on. So for the next 3 weeks, I went on antidepressants. I was on an antidepressant called Celexa. And I think it was after about 2 weeks, I decided that I would rather be depressed than how I felt on this medication. It was scary. If things were all smooth in my environment, it was fine. But it sounds very bizarre, and I don't know how to explain it to someone that hasn't experienced it, but I found myself not creating my own emotions, but I was taking on the emotions of people around me. One specific event that really kind of took me to the next level was a group of friends and I were on a camping trip, and it was just, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 days into the trip, and people were cranky, and looking back, they were probably undercarbed and probably drinking too much alcohol and whatever. But everybody was just really cranky around me, and this one day we were camping by a lake, and I was so upset, and I didn't know what I was feeling, and I just started walking into the lake, and I was just walking and walking. It was a really shallow lake, you had to walk pretty far, but I wasn't even able to like be sad to release. It was really scary. So when I got home, my mom and I did a lot of research, and she didn't like the idea of me being on antidepressants in the first place. And we found that a lot of people, even though I was 19, a lot of people 18 and younger were actually committing suicide on this specific antidepressant. Makes you kind of question a little. Sorry about the bumpy road. So this is, I guess this is probably where a lot of things started for me, when I started asking questions of what I was being told nutritionally. So when we discovered that, you know, call up the doctor. I can't just cut it cold turkey, even though I was ready to let it go. So I had to ease off. I think I was either cutting my tablets in half, or I took it every other day and then every 3 days, something like that, until finally I could get rid of it completely. And I never even finished using that entire first bottle that I got. It's just scary. And I got to that point where I was like, you know what? I would rather be sad and feel all of the full spectrum of my emotions than to shut things down. And this is just my personal experience. So kind of tracking back. So yes, medication. It sent me on a journey to figure out, and this is really the root cause, or the root essence of why I eat the way I do and why I'm really adamant on exercise. And the book Spark really put a lot of it into perspective for me. And I'm reaping the benefits now that I'm being consistently active. Putting in, I would say, a minimum, I think what he recommends in the book is either a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes a couple times a week, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, in your target zone. I think at like around a 60% of your maximum heart rate. So not super intense, completely in line with what Durian Ryder and Freely recommend, at talking pace, but elevating that heart rate, getting your body moving, and I'm sure there's so many other things that come into it, like actually like moving the fluids through your body. In the fascia, it's actually studied that it's like basically the internet of our body, and there's emotions stored there. There's information stored all throughout our body, and the more you get that moving, there's just so many health benefits. So I'm really excited to be back on my bike, even though I'm loving my walks. I look forward to the same walk every day, but just having a little bit more variety. And the fact that I was able to use my bike for 10 kilometers of transportation today was awesome. It's encouraging for me that maybe I'll be able to park my car a little bit more often, and I'm going to start working on those hills. Right now, like, the road that slopes like this is too much for me. But anyway, yeah, so movement is a big part of my personal natural antidepressant regime. And the other part is keeping my calories high enough. I tend to have really low blood sugar, and eating enough food and eating enough of the right type of food, keeping my fats low helps my cells to be able to absorb the blood that is in my, or not the blood, so that my blood and my cells are able to absorb the sugars, which are the main source of energy, so that they are able to absorb. I can keep my mood up, I can keep my energy up. It all works together, and I'm really excited that I have found a solution that works in my body. And some people out there swear by other things. I've tried a lot of them, but this is, for me, it's, yeah, sugar and movement and hydration. Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to share my excitement with you guys and a little bit more perspective on why activity is important to me. So if you like this video, sorry it was a little long, but if you like this video, please like down below. When you like the video, it shares to other people, and I'm able to spread some of my knowledge and experience to others. And if you enjoy this and want to see some more, you can subscribe to my channel. Okay, I will talk to you guys later on. Bye.